Hi, it's Bob from Our Travel Adventures. Today I want to talk to you about our adventures in Granada. Granada didn't start out in our list of cities to travel to in Spain, but we had 2 extra nights and figured out how to add it into the itinerary. So away we went, and sure glad we did. We both fell in love with Granada, and it ends up being one of our favorite, if not our favorite destination that we visited. We decided to fly between Barcelona and Granada to gain an extra half a day compared to the train time. Fueling was fast, affordable, and the airports were easy to navigate. We caught the airport bus just outside of baggage claim. It cost €3 each and took about 40 minutes to drop us off at the cathedral. The return bus stops across the street and about 50 meters to the north, which is away from Plaza Isabel, where the statue of Columbus and the buses to the Alhambra are. Once we checked into our room, we hiked up through the Albayzín neighborhood to Plaza San Nicolas. It has great views of the Alhambra, especially at sunset. There's a party atmosphere in the square with live music and street performers. The view is spectacular. The Great Mosque is next to the square and was an interesting stop as well. They welcomed you to stroll the grounds and answered questions as you looked into the mosque. Further uphill and through the city wall, you reach Plaza Largo and the oldest parts of Granada. Back down to Granada, we enjoyed views of the cathedral and decided to spend €5 each to walk through. The streets of Granada held special charm for us. It just felt welcoming. The Alcaiceria is a web of tiny shopping streets that used to be the silk market. The original market was destroyed by fire in 1850, and then it was rebuilt in the late 1800s. It became this tourist market that you see now. It's fun to actually walk through the maze of tourist shops, art galleries, food vendors, leather goods, and who knows what else you'll find down here. You could easily spend a couple hours just wandering through the streets and entering any of the stalls that look interesting to you. You can actually still see where armed guards would have protected this district at the gates that are leading in. We love the tapas scene in Granada. 2 places that stood out to us were the Taberna Malvasia and the La Botilleria. We actually came to the Botilleria twice, once each night that we were in town. They were patient with our basic Spanish skills and had great food and wine. We enjoyed several others as well, just popping in and out of anything that looked interesting, but these 2 stood out. The tapas come out every time you order a drink, as long as you haven't ordered a main course. We had everything from pork, mushrooms, and chicken and gravy, sliders with fries, croquetas, cheese and meats, fried sardines, etc. Drinks were usually about €4 each, and you could easily make a dinner while strolling around the neighborhoods. Our one full day in Granada started with the hike to the Alhambra. You can catch a bus at the Plaza Isabel, but we decided to enjoy the cool morning with the 15-minute uphill walk. You definitely want to reserve your day and time tickets to the Palacios Nazarias ahead of time. They are available 90 days in advance and usually sell out. You can only enter up to 30 minutes after your reserve time, but they will pull you from the line if you're early at all. There are 3 main attractions at the Alhambra: the Palacio Nazarias, the Alcazaba, and the Palace of Charles V. Because we were early for our reserved time, we started at the Alcazaba, which is the old fort overlooking Granada. Views over the city are breathtaking and the ruins are interesting to see. Finally, our time to enter Palacios Nazarias. This was the Moorish royal palace. Since you have a 30-minute window to enter, crowds seem to be worse right on the half hour when your ticket starts. If you wait 10 to 15 minutes into your 30-minute window, crowds will be as small as they get. Also, once you're inside, they don't rush you through. You can take your time. This palace was built mostly in the 14th century. We were mesmerized with the plaster work covering the walls. Most rooms had fantastic carved wood ceilings. You can imagine this inner courtyard was an oasis of calm without all of the tourists. After the tour of the palace, the grounds are amazing. Well manicured, lots of water, reflecting pools, interesting plants, trees, everything throughout as you walk through. The palace of King Charles V sits next to the Moorish Royal Plaza. King Charles forced the Moors from Granada, but respected their palace so much he kept it intact as his royal residence. This palace was built for official functions. It's a big square building outside, but the inner courtyard is circular. After the Alhambra, it was back to town for us for some more tapas, then an early morning to travel to Madrid. Thanks for watching. Whether you joined us to get some hints and tips for your own vacation or just living vicariously through our adventures, we're glad you're here. Please hit the subscribe button and join us on our future adventures.